retaining families with children, and also has built an outstanding school system. Now we have record-breaking demand for places in our public schools, which has created a school capacity challenge. What do you see as your role on the county board to address this? Alan.
Sure. So this is a question that is near and dear to my own heart. I'm the father of 3 children, a third grader, a kindergartner, and a preschooler. And Pam is the PTA president at Tuckahoe Elementary School, which is one of the most overcrowded in the system. So the capacity challenge is something that we know as a family, and we know as a neighborhood, and we know as a community. And clearly, what we've seen in our neighborhood is this turnover on a, maybe it's a 30, 40-year cycle where there are a lot of new families that are moving in. And with these families are coming young children. And we're seeing a capacity surge like we haven't seen in several decades, many decades in Arlington. And that's a great thing. It means people want to be here, and it means that we have an opportunity to educate children in what is, I think, arguably one of the best, if not the best, school system in all of Virginia. So what can the board do to help foster that? One is certainly to provide the resources the schools need, both on the operating side and on the capital side. I believe there's about $500 million in the next 10 years programmed in our capital improvement to address school capacity issues. And I think it's incumbent on the board to work very closely with the school board to address some of these capacity issues. And I've reached out to the school board members. I'm proud to have the support of Noah Simon in this campaign, a former school board member, Ed Fenley, and others in the schools community who are supporting me because they know that I bring a perspective to the board that isn't there now, which is somebody that actually has kids currently in APS.
Thank you, Alan. Peter?
Thank you. As I said in my opening comments, education is a core community value here in Arlington. It used to be about 18% of the residents in Arlington had children in the school system. Others were single, no children, empty nesters, for example. That number is now up in the low 20s. More people are staying, and they're having larger families. There's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. It shows people's desire to be part of Arlington and to make an investment and raise a family here. Now, the school board is elected to run the school system. It is not the county board's job to tell them what to do. But the county board controls all of the financial resources, both for the operating budget. Even if you don't build new classrooms, you gotta hire teachers and buy books. The county board also controls the use permit and approval process for the sites. It says yes or no, you can build them. I'm proud as a former commissioner to have been an advocate and strong supporter for all 3 high schools and the 2 new elementary school projects that are currently underway. I've also argued in favor or advocated for community access to the buildings and to the recreation facilities. Now, I think the primary thing is, as Alan has said, is about financial resources. But these are community buildings, and we need to make sure that these buildings are adaptable into middle schools or high school programs, such as we have with H.B. Woodlawn or smaller Magnet County-wide type programs. And if someday these schools, because of the cycles, become surplus to requirements on the part of the school system, all right, we didn't waste our money. We'll do what we did 20 and 30 years ago and basically repurpose them as community centers, rec centers, and maybe even affordable housing.
Thank you, Peter. Core Thomas.
Great. So the issue's capacity is one of the main issues that we're facing. I'll tell you a little story. Back when I was in high school, I actually went to a school we all called Portable High. So actually for 3.5 years, because funding was messed up and they couldn't figure out how to actually get the schools built, I was actually in an all-portable high school. There were over 2,000 students in that school. And until the last semester of my senior year, I finally got to step foot into the real school. And you know what? That changes the dynamic. That is what a real school community is supposed to feel like. I mean, once again, I'm talking about experience only because I understand what it means to actually deal with capacity, because as a kid, I knew what I was missing out on and why that's not acceptable. But as a board member, my job is not to handle schools. I actually like what Peter said, and I agree with it. You know, that's the school board. They're elected to do that. We're not running for school board up here. We're running for county board. And our biggest problem right now is making sure our tax base does not continue to shrink. That's why what exactly I want to do is increase funding. And not increase funding by going after your property taxes. I'm a homeowner here. I know what it's like to pay those property taxes. You know, but what I want to do is to focus on growth. If we can focus on growth and actually get the economy moving for small business again and deal with our 20% commercial vacancy rates, we can increase funding to the schools and allow our school board elected members to do what they do best, which is support kids and help educators educate. Thank you.
Thank you. All right,